Hello, buddy. All right, so welcome to the Mikestand. Hopefully, everybody's having a good week. We're coming down to the end of it, of course. So we're gonna give it a few minutes, give people a chance to come in. Before we get started, we'll talk about what's on tap in a moment. Hopefully, everybody's having a good week. Um, Anyways, let's do something here real quick. Huh. Hey there, Elk. I see you. I just saw your message just pop up there. Help me see if I set up Steam, StreamYard properly. Well, what you want me to? What you want me to send you a link or something like that? That's what you. Um, I guess I could do that. Only thing is, I don't want to make if or well, here I'll do this. All right, there's the StreamYard link right there for you, Elk, if you want to give it a shot. The only reason I'm not saying anything, of course, I'm waiting to see if you're going to come in. Yeah, I know you said you wanted to sure you set it up right. Well, it looks like you're in here, but albeit I can't really tell what that writing is. Please select input camera device on opinion on. I think what you have to do, Elk, in order you have to like I guess you have to somehow get your camera set up for it. I did hear a couple of staticky noises, so that might be promising. And it looks like we're going to start a little late tonight, folks. Just see if Elk can come on. Oh, private chat. Can you hear? Well, not as of yet. I heard some staticky noises a few minutes ago, like you were trying to turn it on or something like that. But as of yet, I haven't. Can you hear me? I can hear you fine. Okay. I just can't, as of yet, hear you. So you may need to activate your mic on there as well. No sound. Hmm. Yeah, you're not really coming through. Well, that's all. That's all you. I don't know why you shared that with me. That's something that you got to do there, Elk. You're the one who's got to sign into StreamYard and all that. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. I barely know how to. I barely know how to work it myself. They should make it. I'm in StreamYard. Yeah, I can tell you're in StreamYard. It's just that just follow the instructions as to um, how to sign in. All right. All right. Well, I mean, it was nice for him to try at least. Hopefully he'll be able to figure it out. Maybe when he next goes on Rick. Well, Rick though doesn't use StreamYard. That's the only thing. So, but that's a different monster altogether. Anyways, all right. So, all right. Well, device not connected. I'm reading it, even though I'm not. I'm seeing you in the basically in the quote unquote green room, as it were. They will need to connect their mic and cam before um, you can add them to the stream. Well, I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I can't hear you, so it probably means that your mic isn't like um all right. Still not hearing anything.
Can you hear my microphone now at all?
Yes, I can now. The only thing is now you sound like you sound like you're in a tunnel now, and it basically went from couldn't hear you at all to now you're like in a tunnel. So
Okay. Let's see. Does that sound any better?
yeah, now it sounds like you're getting coming back to normal a bit there.
Okay. Does this sound tunnely or normal?
Just keep talking. Just do
Sure.
a
Yeah.
monologue. Do a monologue.
Yes. Let me see. Arise, fair moon. Arise. What is it? Alas, fair Yorick, I knew him well. It is the east and it is the sun.
All right, you sound like you're fine now.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to actually. This will might cause an echo, but I'm going to turn on the sound. Oh, okay. On. I'm going to try to actually. Yeah, all right. So I've got a sound on. Turn on the sound. Oh, okay. And it's got a delay, so I don't know if that's gonna. It's the delay is too big to have an echo. But okay, so it sounds fairly normal now. So I've got this set up and actually running. Now I'll
So
mute it.
so do you have both the StreamYard? Do you have like a tab open to both the StreamYard and YouTube?
I did, and then I just silenced the YouTube tab and
Okay,
left the
yeah,
StreamYard.
that's basically what you need to do if you're gonna do the two tabs like that. You need to mute the YouTube one so that you
Yeah,
don't have that kind of echo back
that
and forth.
doesn't reverb back and forth. All right, so now it sounds fairly normal. I've
Yes, it does.
accomplished. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks. Thanks for the help. I will disappear
I
back
don't know
into
if
the
I helped
background.
that much, but 'cause I barely know how to do it myself. So,
Well, I just didn't have. I have two mics. I have the headset mic, and I haven't been able to get it to run properly yet. But I have another desktop mic, which is
yeah.
a half decent one. It's like a blue Yeti or a blue Elk or something like that.
Oh
And
yeah,
I just
yeah,
didn't
I
have it
think
set
I
up
have the
right.
same type. I have the same type of mic. Let me see. Is this kind of the thing you have? Like a blue snowball, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this the
That's
one
it.
you have?
Yeah, that's similar. Yeah.
All right,
Is that the
similar.
blue Yeti? Or
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Terrific. Okay. Well, I have achieved streaming a couple of months, 3 months later than I was hoping to, and I'm still in the very opening stages. But yeah, no, I'll have to get to work on my channel content.
Well, maybe. Well, maybe if you want, maybe maybe what we can do, you kind of get your feet wet a bit. Not tonight, obviously, because you caught me a little off guard with it tonight. But maybe on Sundays now, or at least this next Sunday, if you want, I can have Rick send you the StreamYard link, and then maybe you can join us in the chat. Kind of get your feet wet into everything that way.
Yeah, sure. What's the Sunday topic? It's Fridays where you do the historic readings, right? And
Right.
Sundays.
Fridays are the historical comic retrospective where we go. Sundays is just the panel show.
Oh,
I call it
okay.
the weekend edition. It's meant more or less to be a panel show. It's kind of an open mic discussion situation
All right.
where where basically it's like we generally just talk about whatever comes, and if we don't have much to talk about, then we'll usually go find something, or go track down an article or I either went over the last week, or even a new one. We'll go over it together as a panel, and then, well, you saw, because you were there this past Sunday, in fact,
Yeah.
right?
No, I just wondered
So
how
we
much
usually
prep
there,
work
so
you
you
did
kind of
for
know
them.
what goes down. I don't necessarily have, per se, it's not like I know, like, I don't usually decide until maybe, that day, if I have a topic ready for the show, for the panel. It's just something we just kind of play by ear most of the time. But usually it'll be something that I feel, obviously, that I feel will spark discussion.
Yeah.
That much. So,
Yeah, sure. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for your help. I will go drop out and maybe come back Sunday or maybe go have a sandwich and come back later.
well, I mean,
Thanks for helping.
remember, I am doing the historical comic retrospective, or not the. I'm sorry, I'm doing the indie comic showcase tonight, where I'm going over the indie comic showcase article from
Bounding into comics.
right.
Yeah,
So,
sure. No, I'll stick
well, not
around.
about Bleeding Fool is
Oh,
actually
Bleeding Fool.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll stick around for that. Sure. No problem.
All right,
All right.
all right. See you later, Elk. Alrighty then. So, all right. So we got Elk kind of settled in there. Well, that's good now. Um, well, anyways, we will go ahead, and now that we're a few minutes into this, I'll go over what's on tap for tonight. Um, Basically, of course, tonight is, as I just mentioned, is it's Thursday, so we're going to be going over the indie comic showcase from Bleeding Fool. Um, Also, of course, we'll have the wrestling wrap up and the This Day Needs History segment. So, with that, since we're kind of already well into the time here, we're actually coming up on 19 minutes already. So we'd better get into this. That we're so. Let me go ahead and go pull that part up. All right. So maybe we might have. All right, so with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and get into this article. All right, so Indie Comic Showcase number 265, The Shadow Kingdom, Earthbound Grand Prix, The Vicious Vixens of Dakuwanga. I think we've seen that one before. Maybe this is the next chapter in that book. But with that, the article, of course, is by Chris Braley, and it was published yesterday. So let's go ahead and take a look at all this. All right, so welcome back to another installment of Indie Comic Showcase, the weekly blog where we signal boost a few truly independent comics that are currently crowdfunding their projects, crowdsourcing their funding in some way, or just completely self-publishing on their own. Every little bit of support for these creators matters, from a single dollar pledge to the $25 bundle, and of course, the higher tiers are usually fun too. Even if you can't back a campaign or buy a book, You can share or tweet about these projects to your friends and followers. On Indie Comic Showcase, we interview the creators, show off some art, and tell you how you can check out the product for yourself. Below, we have some outstanding crowdfunding campaigns this week for you to learn about, enjoy, and hopefully support by backing one or more of them. Thanks for checking these out and for being the best part of Indie Comic Showcase. Let's jump in. The Vicious Vixens of Dakuwanga by Ben Lacey. Oh yes, yes, and I guess this is the next chapter in the book. I guess because I know we did an article on this. Um, a couple months back, I believe. Anyways, all right. So let me see now. And here's the link. I'm about to put up the link for this. If you guys want to, it's a Kickstarter. The Kickstarter. So if you guys, and of course, as always, guys, if you haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything we talk about tonight, um, grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So here is the link. It's a Kickstarter campaign. If you guys want to go, as I said, if you guys want to go check that out. Well, so now that we've highlighted that, let's go ahead and get into this interview. Look at those lovely ladies. Some interesting shots. Are the word? Chris Braley, welcome back to Indie Comic Showcase, Ben. Tell me the pitch for your latest comic book project. Ben Lacey. It's classic Charlie's Angels meets the A-Team, but with more vicious action and more beautiful women. 8 women, each with a unique skill, have been kidnapped by a criminal cartel for an unknown purpose. But thanks to a minor miracle, they managed to escape. However, escaping is far from getting away. The mob desperately wants them back, and they have weapons far deadlier than men with guns, or even if they can take down the thugs who are hunting them, can they win the Piranha games? Can they win the Piranha games? Chris, where did the idea come? Where did the idea for this comic come from? Okay, so it wasn't this book. It probably was another book that we were looking at from Ben Lacey, and made you decide to self-publish it. Ben, in issue 1 of my other series, Shark of War, our cyborg shark hero rescued a group of women from human traffickers. But he's a shark. He didn't so much rescue them as kill their captors and leave them to fend for themselves. I began to wonder what might have happened. Yeah, I think we might have seen that one. In fact, maybe, but what might have happened to them, and the story just went from there. I thought it would be a nice expansion of my comic book universe. Yeah, I would say so. I'd agree. And give me a chance to write a whole different styled story. By the way, you don't need to have read Shark of War to follow the series, but all backers get a digital copy of Shark of War 1 as well. So, wow, a little deal to kind of help bring the. Wow, look at all this. That's quite an interesting collage right there. It's liable to be an eye catch right there. Eh. Chris, what kind of comic readers is this suited for, and who is it aimed at? Ben, I think it's fine for a teen or on up. There's some blood and vicious fights. There are also attractive women in beach attire, which, needless to say, will probably get a lot of tongues wagging, huh? I think anyone who likes classic action movies where the women were both tough and sexy will enjoy this series. Chris, tell us about your style and creative process and how you develop them. Ben, this project had some unique challenges to avoid falling into recent um, storytelling traps. There are so many, in smaller quotes, in smaller quotes, strong women who are a match for any man. Stories out now that it's almost a cliche. I wanted to avoid that here and put a lot of thought into how the fights in the book happen so that the reader buys into the outcomes, which often don't go in the victim's favor. This book is very much a throwback to the cool 70s and 80s women action heroines. Like Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, maybe, among others. In this. Chris, talk about your creative team that contributed to this project and how it comes together. Ben, I wrote it. Nico Toran has done all the art on both issues as well as most of the covers. And as with all of my books, Nikki Powers is lettering. I write a complete script. Nico looks through it and points out any issues. He then thumbnails the whole thing. Once we're both satisfied, he continues with the line art. Right now, the art is more than half finished. I think this book will be close to done by the time the campaign ends. Let's see. Chris, what have you been learning from self publishing, crowdfunding, and creating through this process? Ben, you have to work to build an audience. You can't just launch a Kickstarter and expect people on Kickstarter to fund you. Sure, some will come, but you need to market your story to build your own readership. Mhm. All right. So let's see. Chris, tell me more. Tell me a bit more about what makes this campaign special. Then, this campaign is for issues 1 and 2 of the book, and there will definitely be more issues. These women are on so even before Chris even asked the usual questions, is there more story to tell? He's basically telling me, yes, there's more story to tell. Let's see. These women are on an epic adventure with a lot of twists and turns. I'd been wanting to do a cosplay cover of someone playing the Vixens. I ended up doing two. Fitness model Dalek Hernandez poses as Vixen leader and crack shot Big Sis, while IFBB Wellness Pro flexes as Vixen's muscle blondie. For issue 1, we did a connecting set of covers of all the Vixens. Those are also available as part of the Kickstarter. Yes, this is the one of the cosplay covers. All right. Chris, anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off? Ben, yes, there is a link on the page that will let you read issue 1 for free. No need to sign up or anything. I'm confident that anyone who reads issue 1 will want to know where the story goes next. And then Chris says, thanks, Ben. Come back anytime. Yeah, so, anyways, that was the Vicious Vixens of Dakuwanga from Ben Lacey. So now we're ready to move on to the next The Shadow Kingdom by Russ Leach. Let me Randy Zimmerman and Russ Leach. And this is a fun my comic campaign. Randy Zimmerman, who I believe you can hear on the Indie Comics Network, which is, I believe, Nita Lanning, Daphne Lage's network. The Shadow Kingdom. So here's the link for this one, Shadow Kingdom. If you guys want to check that out, there it is. If you guys want to check that campaign out, all right. So, anyways, let's get into the article here. Ready to get into the article. Shadow Kingdom by Russ Leach from Arrow Comics. Chris Braley, welcome back to Indie Comic Showcase. Russell, tell me about your latest crowdfund project, The Shadow Kingdom. Russ Leach. This is a faithful adaptation of Robert E. Howard's first Cull story, now in public domain. Randy Zimmerman is the editor adapting the tale, And we have a foreword by Razor Fist. Um, this is commonly thought of as the original sword and sorcery tale. Both Randy and myself are huge Robert E. Howard fans. And when his first three stories of the Cull character came into public domain, we both knew we wanted to produce a version of it. We are also big Conan fans, and Cull is canonically linked. So how could we not do it? How indeed, Chris. What kind of comic readers is this aimed at? Russ. It's based on a classic, and although it covers deep dark themes, it's still a fun read. It's a 15 plus page plus it's a 15 plus book or 15 plus page book. I guess they forgot to write that in there. That anyone looking for traditional adventure will appreciate. Chris, tell our readers a little bit about your style and creative process, Russ. Russ, my style mostly resembles a Bronze Age approach. I've drawn Batman for DC in Europe and Doctor Who for Panini and the BBC in the UK. I'd added to that a spell on Ben 10, a Marvel art series for 4 years, and multiple indie books, including my own graphic novel series, quote, Only Death Can Save Us, unquote, has shaped my style and process. I pencil digitally and then print blue line pencils on to board and ink traditionally. Um, which means I can offer original art within any of my crowdfunding campaigns. There's some of the artwork there. Hmm. All right, so continuing on here. And of course, as always, guys, if you haven't already, you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and continue on here. Chris, tell me about the credentials of your creative team on this project. Russ, Randy Zimmerman has more than 4 decades of experience within the comic book industry and has written and edited on many independent projects and too many books to count for Arrow Comics. We had some help from author and artist Glenn Fleming on the prose presentation within the book and pre-production art. Then there is myself. I've worked for mainstream publishers such as DC, Marvel, Warner Brothers, and Panini, but have most fun on indie projects. Let's see. Chris, how far along is the book? Is it ready for print? Or is the campaign funding the production? Russ, the book is 100% complete. We are ready to go to print as soon as the campaign ends. We have experience of mainstream and indie projects and both been involved um, in crowdfunding before. We wanted to create the best version we could, and so crowdfunding, a special edition, was our first choice. And there we go. Let's see, continue on. Let's see. Interesting artwork here, to say the least. Chris, Are there other cult stories you hope to tell? Russ. Oh, yes. We'd love to continue Cole's story with Randy writing new chapters on his hunt for the lizard people. So, taking the public domain character and creating new adventures for him while respecting Howard's approach and feelings for the character. Look out for the Atlantean series. All right, then Chris asks, let's talk about the campaign a bit. Anything particularly unique about it you want to mention? Russ? Yes. We have an illustrated presentation of the original approach story by Howard, as well as 69 pages of sequential storytelling, plus a forward by YouTuber and huge REH fan, Razorfist, Robert E. Howard. Also, for this limited edition, crowd-funded version, we have some production art and unused illustrations. Let's see. Um, Chris, anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off? Russ, modern storytelling has taken a sideways lurch. Robert E. Howard's stories of adventures are timeless, and we are very proud to have been able to produce this book. We hope everyone enjoys reading it as much as we enjoyed producing it. Chris says, thanks, Russ. I look forward to it. So, well, now we got 2/3 of the books out of the way here. So now let's get down to the third and final one here. End up going the rate we're going would probably end up going a little over an hour. Earthbound Grand Prix by Per Berg, aka Narwhal. Let me go grab that. Go grab that link. And that one also looks like a Fun My Comic project. Grand Prix. In this case, they're spelling Grand Prix a little differently here. Usually, they don't add the e in Grand, but here they are. So, all right. So here's this book. You guys want to go check that out? Earthbound Grand Prix. Give me a moment to take a look at that as we prep for go over this portion of the article. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get back to Earthbound Grand Prix by Per Berg. Okay. AKA Narwhal. All right, so let's do this. Herberg just seems like a very interesting name here. It sounds very similar to another word that I don't think people would like being called. Chris Braley, welcome to this week's edition of Indie Comic Showcase. Narwhal, what's the elevator pitch for Earthbound Grand Prix? Perberg. Um, the Grand Prix is a clandestine fighting tournament held amongst the greatest fighters in the galaxy. Many know of its existence, but no one knows anything about it. Sounds a little bit like the Kumite, right? From Bloodsport. I don't know if anybody's ever seen John Claude Van Damme's Bloodsport, where, it was kind of supposed to be somewhat of a biopic on Frank Dukes. But anyways, WizKid and Julia's paths will cross yet again in the secretive place. A campaign is for part 2 of 6 and is 48 pages, full color. Grand Prix is a sequel to the original Earthbound graphic novel that I published a few years ago. The full Earthbound story will eventually be over 1,000 pages long. Along 1,000 pages long. We're almost halfway at this point. Chris, what kind of comic reader is this best suited for? PB. It's between PG-13 and R rating, so around there. There are sexual themes and violence. Nothing too crazy though. All right. So I guess I got a little bit of a thing from Mark Millar there. Um, Chris, tell me a bit about your creative process and how you approach these stories. PB, Earthbound is just me doing the art and writing. My style is heavily influenced by animation, and I try to capture movement and energy in every panel. From the writing standpoint, I try to make sure every scene is fun for me to draw and fun for the reader to read. There you go, right there. Chris, what stage of production is this book? PB, the book is complete except for lettering. My workflow is I just make sure I'm chipping away on something every day, be it layouts, art, writing, lettering, in addition to more administrative stuff like email, setting up crowdfund pages, etc. And if you guys haven't already, of course, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, anyways, back to the article here. Let's see. Chris, you've self-published several of these now. What have you been learning from self-publishing through these campaigns? PB, or Narwhal, as I think his real name is. I've learned that many things may be intimidating at first, but if you jump in, you can really enjoy them. Well, I kind of have to agree with that because I've kind of had my experiences with that. Maybe not publishing anything, but let's see. I will always have Earthbound going, but I'm also developing a second huge project, Percival, which will be drawn entirely traditionally. All right. Chris, any special items, features in this campaign you'd like to point out? And even though they forgot to, I think, put his initials in there, Narwhal is speaking now here. Every backer gets a free mini comic with their order. All I can say about the mini comic is it will be historically groundbreaking to the comic comedian. Let's see. Let's see. Thanks for sharing with us, Narwhal. Chris says, thanks for sharing with us, Narwhal. Anything else you'd like to say before we sign off? Narwhal, I appreciate you guys. I'm optimistic about the future. I think the industry is healing. Cancel culture is fading, and we'll be entering a new golden age of awesome art creation soon. If we aren't in it already, thanks. Chris, good luck, Narwhal. It looks great. That's it for this installment. If you're a creator ramping up your own campaign or have a comic available for purchase online and you want to be featured in our weekly column, click here. And follow Indie Comic Showcase on Twitter at Indie Comics. Reach out to them for more eyes on your crowdfunding project. Till next time, support Indie Comics. Alrighty then. So there we go with that. There we go with that. So we're done with that. So, well, let me just one last time I go through. So these are the three campaigns that were in the article tonight. The Vicious Vixens of Dakuwanga from Ben Lacey. That's on Kickstarter. The Shadow Kingdom. It's on from Ben from not sorry from Randy Zimmerman and Russ Leach. I guess basically taking the Cole story, as it were. And finishing off, of course, Earthbound Grand Prix from Narwhal. So if you guys want to check those out, there are the links. Go check them out. Anyways, now we'll move on to the wrestling wrap up. We'll try to get through that a bit quickly here. Let's see. Basically, some quick WWE news. It would appear that a lot of people are basically just kind of shying away from Vince McMahon at this point with all the stuff going down there, with all the, basically it would appear that Vince is, of course, persona non grata in the WWE at the moment. Anyways, I do need to step away from the camera for a moment. I'll be right back. Going to put some music on, make some lighting adjustments here. But I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So, anyways, as I was just saying, Vince has been considered persona non grata, as they're trying to do everything they can. People are no longer coming to his defense as much. for fear of reprisal, would have. All right, so with that, so that's pretty much middle of the week here. WWE's usually not doing anything. They're shows on Mondays and Fridays. So of course everything is building up towards WrestleMania coming up in a little over, I guess, about a week or two. Or I think it's the first weekend in April that it's going to be happening. Now, talk about what's on tap for. Let's talk about first off what happened on last night's Dynamite. Um, as of course, we saw a couple title changes. Kazuchika Okada defeated Eddie Kingston for the AEW Continental title, as it looks like they're going to be breaking up that Triple Crown now. Because from what I was reading too recently, I think Eddie's going to be defending the Ring of Honor title against Mark Briscoe at the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Hook defeated Chris Jericho in their singles match. Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa defeated Mariah May and Toni Storm in their tag team match. Swerve Strickland defeated the Butcher in a match that set up a confrontation between Swerve and the Don Callis family that may be looking to have a situation with Swerve, possibly fending them off, a bit of a rivalry with them as he continues trying to be built up as a main eventer. The main event saw finally Adam Copeland full on clearly defeated Christian Cage for the TNT title in an I Quit match. Was able to stave off the interference from the patriarchy. So that's all that went down last night on AEW on Dynamite. So tonight's TNA Impact. On the night's Impact tonight from which aired from St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. You'll see one half of Decay, Rosemary, taking on one half of MK Ultra, Masha Slamovich, in a number one contendership 5-way for the TNA X Division title to determine the next next challenger to Mustafa Ali. You have the returning Heath, Jake Something, Alan Angels, Jason Hotch, and Kevin Knight competing in that match. The Time Splitters, Team Alex Shelley and Kushida, team up to take on the grizzled young vets of James Drake and Zach Gibson. In a digital media title match, Crazy Steve defends against PCO. And I believe her first match in TNA, Ash by Elegance, will be taking on Saliza Sparks. In the main event, we'll see Jordan Grace defending the Knockout World title against Tasha Steelz. So quite a bit of women's action there going on as well. So that's all I got for you in terms of the wrestling wrap up. So now with today being Thursday, March 21st, 2022 or 2024, let's take a look back at this day in each history. History! So first off, we're going to head back 80 years ago today, as on this date back in 1944, 80 years ago today. The 25th issue of Super Magician Comics went on sale from Street and Smith. Sold for 10 cents with 56 pages. So on this date, back in 1944, 80 years ago today, the 25th issue of Street and Smith's Super Magician Comics went on sale on newsstands. Now, moving ahead to 1994, that will be our next stop here. In 1994, on this day in 1994, at the 66th Academy Awards, back 30 years ago today, at the 66th Academy Awards, the Wallace and Gromit short The Wrong Trousers by Nick Park wins the Academy Award for Best Animated Short. So on this date, back 30 years ago today, the Wallace and Gromit short The Wrong Trousers won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short. And 1994 is just so nice that we're going to hit it twice. And also on this date back in 1994, 30 years ago today, let me pull it up here. The Final Fantasy Legend of Crystals, an OVA produced by Madhouse, and Plastic Little, an OVA produced by KSS Piero, both were released on this date 30 years ago today. So on this date, 30 years ago today, the OVA's Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals from Madhouse, Plastic Little from KSS Studio Pero, were both released on this date back in 1994, 30 years ago today. And finally, on this date 25 years ago today, from the Asbury Park Convention Center, Asbury Park, New Jersey, ECW's Living Dangerously 1999 took place. The main event saw, of course, ECW World Heavyweight Champion Taz defeat Sabu to win the ECW FTW Championship. Also, in the penultimate match of the night, Tommy Dreamer and Shane Douglas teamed up to defeat the Impact Players. You saw Spike Dudley team with Nova to defeat his brothers, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley. Rob Van Dam defeated Jerry Lynn to retain the ECW World Television Championship. And the night started off with Super Crazy defeating Yoshihiro Tajiri in what was considered one of the classic cruiserweight, light heavyweight, junior heavyweight feuds of that time period. So there you go, everybody. I thank everybody for being here. Of course, tomorrow night I will have Apex from Apex Comics on with me, as we will be going through books that went on sale in February of 1940. We'll be focusing in on Archie Comics, known then as MLJ Enterprises. I'll be looking through Top Notch Comics, Volume 1, Issue 4, Zip Comics, Volume 1, Issue 3, and Pep Comics, Issue 1, or Volume 1, Issue 3. So, with that, I thank everybody for being here. I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow and every night. But with that, I shall bid you all adieu, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.